If he could do it, I could do it. So that's your competitive advantage right there. Yeah, so I think you should start something with that.
I think I will.
Ronald, my man, it's good to meet you, bro. I'll see you later. What's going on, bro? How you doing? What's your name, bro?
Do you want to conquer the world, or do you want to be average? Because honestly, there's nothing wrong with being average. We need people like that too to run the world. You know, for the world to go round, there needs to be plenty of average people. If you're somehow on this channel, you probably feel that you're not one of those average people. And if that's the case, you've got to accept your destiny. You've got to accept your fate.
Turn left.
You can't fall into these simple distractions. Focus on the priority. You're meant for more. As always, starting the day off with some work. Today, specifically, starting out with reviewing some short form content from my editor that I sent to him earlier this week. And I figured we could do a little exercise by starting off showing you guys like some strategies I'm using in these shorts to try to increase retention. And I've explained all these strategies in prior videos. Let's just see it in action though.
Your sneakers might be fake and you might...
So the first thing I'm doing, you. It's really good to start shorts like that because it affects the person who's watching. It's not just some random facts I'm giving. You'll see in this video I'm talking about a specific lawsuit, but that lawsuit probably doesn't apply to most people, but I'm going to make sure it seems like it does by saying you or your.
Not even know it, especially if they're on this list.
Guys, and then I hook them again by saying especially if they're on this list. So now, not only were they initially hooked, but they have to stay to see what the sneakers on the list were because maybe they have a sneaker that's on that list.
Your sneakers from StockX or anyone in general who hasn't been able to prove that they got it from a retailer.
See, I'm not making it just about people who got it from StockX. I'm also insinuating that if you got your sneakers from anywhere, it doesn't matter, you know, if it wasn't StockX, because maybe that buyer also got it from StockX. So it makes people need to pay attention regardless. Definitely opens the audience a little bit, you know, broadens the market.
Listen up. It looks to be true. Nike has one summary judgment.
That's where I get into the details.
Decision based on the facts before a trial. A court of law has found that StockX has sold 37 counterfeits. They still have to go to the official trial, but so far it's not looking good for StockX.
And people still have to wait to see what the sneakers on the list were.
Even if you didn't get your sneakers directly from StockX, there's a chance your seller may have.
And there, again, it implies that even if you didn't get your pairs from StockX, you know, there's a chance yours still might be fake. So everyone still has to watch the video.
Sneakers especially are at high risk of being fake, to make sure.
Then I show the list as promised at the end. This is how I end the video with the reward. Ending with the reward is usually good.
Now, Hyper Royals, Mochas, and more.
And then I cut it off real fast like that because every single second matters. You don't want to keep the video going with like a follow button there or whatever because the retention will drop like that and the algorithm notices those things. And now what I'm also doing is manually uploading shorts to YouTube. This way you could select the thumbnail, which is very important. For most of the platforms, I'm using later.com to just automatically schedule everything in. It saves me a lot of time, but you can't select the thumbnail on YouTube specifically, so I got to do these manually, which is very important in my opinion for YouTube Shorts to have a thumbnail. And YouTube Shorts recently added a really cool feature like a couple of months ago or so where you could link one of your videos, which is amazing because for short form content on YouTube, it could potentially hinder your average views for your regular content if it's not related content. So you want to always make sure that the shorts you're making are very closely tied to the long form content you're making because otherwise a lot of people are going to end up following you from your shorts and they're going to see your long form content isn't relevant, and then YouTube is going to acknowledge the ratio of people who've just subscribed but aren't actually watching your content when they suggest it, and it leads to them pushing you down in the algorithm because they're like, oh, we just suggested it to his own subscribers and they're not watching it, so we shouldn't suggest it to anybody else. But with this new feature, it's really great this is another reason why you want to make closely related videos, because now straight from here on the little bottom of the short where there's the title, you could select one of the videos, and basically if someone's like, oh yeah, like he was just talking about the Jordan 4 Nigel Sylvester, oh, here's a full guide on, you know, how to get it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to link that full guide under the short for the mini guide for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to link the full guide for the how to cop guide for this under the short, which just gives some quick tips. So it's going to get all the views from the short form content, and then that'll funnel some more people into the long form content. And then from that long form content, it'll funnel people into the free Discord, and then from there it goes to the paid product. So again, this is just the same sales funnel tactic that you'll see in every single niche. I talk about this all the time. It's the same idea, and it all comes down to just genuinely giving value and genuinely wanting to help people win. That's what this all comes down to. If you really want to, you know, be successful, what you have to also want is to help people. You have to be willing to give info for free. You have to be willing to genuinely want to see people win, not just make money. And since I happen to really enjoy seeing people win, I'm really good at what I do. And now that that's done, I'm also organizing next week's email. So once a week we send out a value-based email, and we're sending these value-based emails, one, to genuinely help people out, and two, we also link the YouTube videos that correlate to the emails. So we give some informative information in these emails, and then we also link the YouTube video that corresponds to that, because once we could funnel those people into the YouTube video, then from that YouTube video, they could then be funneled into the business too. But regardless, we're overall just trying to give value and help people. That's the end goal. So obviously this week's isn't ready, but the overall theme that I'm planning is going to be about how to cop the Nigel Sylvester Jordan 4. And it's going to have this video linked. But the last email we put out, we actually had this video linked here. The Nike accidentally confirms Union Jordan 1 shock drop. Potentially it was this one actually, but I'll show you what it looks like just so you could get an idea of what a value-based email looks like. So we're essentially just giving information about the recent news for the Union Jordan 1 shock drop, and then we're also tying that into how Endurance, my product, will help people actually be able to get these, because it's true. Inside of Endurance, we're going to be giving out early information for any kind of shock drop, or what I also talked about in the video, restocks for the Jordan 12 flu game from delayed shipments. And I'm talking about in here like how Endurance members are able to use the monitors to cop a lot of restocks, which there's been tons as of lately, which has been great. People have been making a lot of money. And then under here for more information, I just linked the video. So people don't even need to join, you know, the group through here. I'm not expecting that many leads from the emails itself. Instead, I'm just trying to give them important information, useful information, and then link them to even more useful information. The real key here is just focusing on giving value, focusing on finding as many ways as possible to give information within your niche to help people with whatever it is that you do in particular. For me, it's reselling and acquiring limited items for collecting purposes. So with sneakers, for example, with this kind of niche, I'm just trying to focus on giving people as much information within that realm as I possibly can, helping them to the best of my abilities. And if I happen to make money in the process, all the better. I'll show you some statistics from that particular email, and this will highlight why it's important to do value-based emails, why it's important to genuinely just want to help people and not just send out emails about promotions and sales. You could do that every once in a while, but you don't want to overdo that. You see, we have a 57% open rate for these kinds of emails. That is really good because people know that they're opening it and they're just getting good information. And yes, there might be an upsell in there too, but it's a fair trade-off that they view some kind of an advertisement in exchange for the free information. And then we're also getting 4% clicks. That totals to 71 clicks because we decided to send out 3,500 emails this time. We don't always send to our full list. We have many more emails than this, but in order to keep our domain reputation high, we don't always use the entire list. And now I'm just discussing some plans for an upcoming drop that we're going to have to create a module for as soon as it goes live. Probably only have an hour to do it. I'm talking with my lead developer for the bot right now. This is stuff that unfortunately I can't show. There's a lot of stuff I unfortunately am not going to be able to show for a multitude of reasons. While I want to keep everything 100% authentic and real in my life as possible with you guys, there's some parts of this business that I really can't be showing, and a lot of that has to do with the bot. A lot of it has to do with the APIs, because I don't just make my money from the group. I have other avenues of income too, and this is stuff that I can't really share with you guys. I really can't share publicly in general, or shouldn't share at least. But instead, to make up for it, I'll show you something else transparent that I think you'll find entertaining. So as promised, I'm gonna, try to keep everything real, keep everything 100% authentic on this channel. Just the other day, I decided to try dating apps again for the first time in like a year and a half. I used to really like them, but I never had time for them, honestly. But now I got a little bit more time for this kind of stuff. So I decided to just try it out. I tried Hinge for the very first time. This app is insane. Like, all these notifications just from yesterday. Like, I should have been on this thing a long time ago. I'll show you what my profile looks like. And I'll give you a tip for, like, any successful guys out there or whatever. Definitely do not show any of that inside of your profile, because you don't want to attract that kind of energy, So I'll show you, like, I just keep everything, like, just me. Like, these are just some basic, like, mirror pictures. Like, family picture. And they give you prompts, too, so I put a funny quote there. A travel picture. And then just having a cigar. Like, I don't want to show my cars or anything. I don't want to attract that kind of energy. But, like, I just started this the other day. And there's just so much to go through. Like, I don't have time. I don't have time to message. I'm busy conquering the world. I don't have time for this. I've messaged a few of them that messaged me first, but I don't have time to message. So give me your opinion on, like, what you guys think about dating apps. I know there's, like, a lot of controversial opinions about them. I heard a lot of good things about the Hinge app, so I just tried that out, and I mean, so far, I really like it a lot. I can't lie. But one thing that I got to understand is you can't get distracted with that kind of stuff, because we got to be focused on conquering the world. I don't want to have time for that. I want to be focused on business. I want to be focused on improving my product. I want to focus on big goals, because I just feel like there's so much more out there than just, like, having, I don't know. I just don't want to get distracted too much by that kind of stuff. But give me your opinion on what you guys think about those kinds of apps. Like, are they good for society now? Are they bad for society? What's your experience like on them? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. We've talked a lot about the upper levels of the sales funnel, but what I haven't showed that much of was my final part of the sales funnel. How we show value in the final stages to finally, eventually get people to finally convert. So I just wanted to show you a couple of examples of recently how we've been doing that. So in addition to giving value inside of this free group, we also have a channel called Highlights, where we basically show the free members all the success from the full members, all the money that they're making. For example, like, even some of their experiences. This guy saying, I think I made $3K in the last 2 weeks here. This guy saying, just did a trial, see if anything is hitting these days. Made enough in a week to cover a year of the sub. I'm just showing, like, more success like this. And we also share the same kind of success on Twitter. Show, like, examples of, like, what we were doing exactly. This is just, like, the last couple of days. And this is the goal of the last part of the sales funnel, no matter what niche you're in. You really just have to show your value. So in addition to giving value, we're also trying to show how much value we could keep giving them, like how much more value, like 500 times as much value as they're getting in the free section, they could get 500 times more value here. Like, people are making a lot of money off these other drops and restocks that the free members wouldn't have access to. So the goal is really just to, you know, demonstrate that value to the best of our abilities, in addition to giving value for free. Just wrote up some scripts for some additional short form content for the week. Remember what I told you about timely marketing? Certain things come up, like certain news that randomly comes up. It's okay to deviate from your schedule so you could capitalize on those new events in your niche, because timely marketing is very effective. So better do one now that wasn't originally planned for this week. And if anything else comes up throughout the week, I'll be doing the same exact thing. All right, so just finished up filming the short. Now got to do some work for taxes. So yesterday was filled with mostly doing a lot of tax work after the filming, so I don't want to bore you guys with all that. It was basically like 8 hours of straight calculations. So instead, this is the next day after I finished working at the gym, and take you guys on a little drive with me. Gonna make some content and enjoy the vibes, you know? Who that was, but must have liked the car, I guess.
Early this morning, when you knocked upon my door, and I said, hello, Satan, I believe it is time to go.
Earlier in the video, I was talking about how there's a lot of distractions in life, especially Sirens. If you're on this channel, you're probably somebody who feels they don't want to work a 9 to 5. And if that's the case, you need to understand. You need to understand that you need to keep your eye on conquering the world. It's not a normal lifestyle. It is far from normal. You need to be willing to sacrifice a lot of enjoyment in life. This is things like holiday parties too. This is things like hanging out with friends. Unfortunately, if you want to conquer the world, you want to be above average, like really, you need to be willing and capable of ignoring distractions in life. Because once you taste a little bit of success, you can't let those distractions make you get comfortable, because at that moment you're going to lose everything. You got to stay focused on conquering the world. Alexander the Great probably had he could have had anyone he wanted at any time, but he stayed focused on conquering. He stayed focused on seeing the ends of the earth. And that's how you have to be too. You can't be a normal person. Your friends are playing Xbox. Your friends are watching Netflix. If you really want this life, that cannot be you. Some people are like, oh, but I need my me time. No, none of that. What? Your you time, forget about it. No. Do you want to conquer the world, or do you want to be average? Because honestly, there's nothing wrong with being average. We need people like that too to run the world. You know, for the world to go round, there needs to be plenty of average people. If you're somehow on this channel, you probably feel that you're not one of those average people. And if that's the case, you've got to accept your destiny. You've got to accept your fate.
Turn left.
You can't fall into these simple distractions. Focus on the priority. You're meant for more. Let your friends have their you time. They're gonna go out drinking, they're gonna go out partying. I don't find joy in that, really. Like, sometimes I'll do it, every once in a while, rarely. But I really don't get much joy from it. I get joy from movement up. When everything's on an upwards trajectory, that's what gives me excitement. I love war. I love conquest.
Exit right.
Nowadays, we're not throwing spears at each other, we're conquering in the financial realm. The same concepts apply. So you gotta ask yourself,
Exit right.
are you gonna be content when you start to see a little bit of success
In 0.
and get distracted from
Keep right.
the little bit? Or do you genuinely want more? Me personally, I don't ever want to get too comfortable. I'm not going to be satisfied.
Keep right.
So I was telling you, the reason you have a competitive advantage is because you're older and you're into fitness. So there's going to be a lot of people your age who want to watch people your age doing the fitness stuff, because there's a lot of fitness YouTubers, a lot of fitness influencers and whatnot, but you'll be one of the only ones doing the calisthenics stuff, doing the muscle ups, who's 59 years old. Right. And there's a lot of people who are 59 years old or older. They're going to see you and they're going to be like, shit, if he could do it, I could do it. So that's your competitive advantage right there.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think you should start something with that.
I think I will.
Ronald, my man, it's good to meet you, bro. I'll see you later. What's going on, bro?
Take care, man.
How you doing?
Really think
What's
about
your name, bro?
the information you just got, man.
What is it? Minaj? Nice to meet you, bro. I'm Keith. Keith. Yeah, what do you want from in there, bro? Let's get some.